Let me tell you something. There's nothing quite like the sound of metal colliding with metal to really jumpstart your blood pressure before 9 a.m. That morning, the desert sun was already burning hot, like the kind of heat that makes the air itself look wavy, and I was trudging across my ranch yard minding my own business when I heard it. Clang loud, sharp, echoing off the barn roof. At first, honest to God, I thought maybe a stray wind had caught one of the new solar panels I'd just put up, maybe shook a bolt loose or something. Wouldn't have been the first time. But then came a second clang, and after that, this ugly, scraping metallic screech followed by a voice that made my stomach drop straight to my boots. Don't worry, I'm saving the neighborhood. And just like that, I knew my day was about to take a detour straight into crazy town. Now let me back up a second, because you gotta understand, if trouble has a name in these parts, it's Karen. Not a Karen. I mean, this woman's actual name is Karen, and she has made it her personal mission in life to run the local HOA like it's her own private kingdom. The kicker. My ranch is a solid 5 miles outside their so-called jurisdiction, but for the past 6 months she's been coming at me with letters, emails, even hand-delivered notes stuffed under my gate, all about community standards and neighborhood aesthetics. As if my herd of cattle gives a damn about her opinions on curb appeal. So when I rounded that barn, what do I see but Karen herself perched right up there on my roof, rocking gardening gloves and a sun hat, gripping a crowbar like she's auditioning for a role in Home Alone 6 HOA Mayhem. She'd already yanked half my solar panels off the rack, 70 grand's worth easy, and they were lying there in the dirt like some kind of modern art disaster. My jaw just about hit the floor. I shout up, probably louder than I meant, Karen. What the hell are you doing on my roof? And she turns around, looks down with this smirk that could sour milk, and goes, removing these illegal installations, issuing the neighborhood aesthetic. And I'm just, what neighborhood, I bark back. We're standing in the middle of 120 acres of cow pasture. There isn't a neighbor for miles unless you count the coyotes. She folds her arms, crowbar still dangling, and wobbles a little like a stiff breeze might finish what she started. The HOA recently voted to expand our boundaries, she says, real matter of fact. That means your ranch falls under community guidelines now, and solar panels are not approved materials. I just blinked at her. Karen, you can't just vote to take over private land. She shrugs. Oh, we can. And we did. These panels are violating Article 7 reflective hazards and unauthorized structures. Consider this a community service. It would be funny if it weren't so damn infuriating. And right then, one of the roof beams creaks. Karen yelps, loses her balance for a split second, and in her scramble she manages to yank another panel clean off the rack. It crashes to the ground with a thud so heavy, I swear I felt it in my fillings. At that point, all I could do was sigh, pull out my phone and hit record. You're trespassing, I say, as calm as I can manage. You're vandalizing private property, and you're damaging a federally subsidized solar installation. You might want to climb down before this gets ugly. She rolls her eyes. Federally subsidized, please. You just bought some cheap junk off Amazon. I smile, then just a little. Actually, Karen, those panels are part of a Department of Energy Rural Clean initiative. They're registered. You just destroyed federal property. Her face loses all color. That's not possible, she stammers. Want to bet, I say, and I'm already dialing the sheriff's office. 10 minutes later, quicker than I expected, honestly, 2 deputies roll up dust trailing behind their truck, and right after them, this black SUV pulls in windows so dark you can't see the driver. Out steps a man in a suit and sunglasses, badge shining, looking like he walked straight out of a Men in Black movie. Department of Energy Federal Investigations Division, he says, real official. Karen's mouth is literally hanging open. Wait, this is a mistake I was trying to enforce. HOA bylaws, she protests. The agent doesn't even blink. Turns to me. You the property owner? Yes, sir. Got it all on video, too. I hand him my phone. He watches maybe 30 seconds, enough to catch Karen doing her best demolition job with a crowbar, and then nods. Ma'am, you're under investigation for destruction of federally protected renewable energy infrastructure. Please step down from the roof. Now, if you've ever seen someone's whole world unravel in real time, you know the look. Karen just starts babbling, words tumbling out. No, you don't understand. I'm protecting the neighborhood from unsightly tech. The deputy sighs, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Ma'am, get down before you fall, or we call the fire department. It takes her a while, a lot of huffing, a few mumbled threats about legal action, But she finally climbs down, and the agent starts snapping photos of the damaged, busted wires, shattered panels, her crowbar lying there like Exhibit A in the world's dumbest trial. Within the hour, Karen's sitting on the tailgate of the deputy's truck, face red as a tomato and twice as sour. I was trying to help. You people don't understand community order, she keeps saying. I lean against the fence, watching the sun glint off what's left of my panels. Karen, the only thing you understand is how to ruin your own day. The DOE agent doesn't even crack a smile, just says, "Ma'am, interfering with a federal energy project can carry up to 10 years in prison or a fine exceeding $250,000. You ever seen someone's brain freeze?" She just blinks. $250,000 for a few panels? I shrug. Guess you should have read my bylaws first. By the time the sheriff comes over shaking his head, the whole thing has turned into a circus. We're impounding her vehicle. You'll get the official report this afternoon, he tells me. By sunset, I'm sitting on the porch with a cold drink watching the sky turn gold when my phone starts lighting up. Turns out Karen made the local news. Headline reads, "Local HOA president arrested for damaging federal solar energy property claims. She was protecting neighborhood aesthetics." I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The best part. The HOA board dropped her the next day like a hot potato. Her house went up for sale within the week, probably faster than she could say community guidelines. And me, I got a full reimbursement for the damage, plus, believe it or not, a grant to expand my solar field courtesy of the Department of Energy. Talk about a silver lining. Now, every time the sun hits my new panels just right, they almost sing hum, like freedom itself. Sometimes I'll be out fixing a fence, and a car will roll by the sunlight bouncing off those panels, shooting straight across what used to be Karen's front yard. A little high-voltage karma, if you ask me. I swear some folks just can't handle the sun power that is. But, looking back, it's easy to laugh about the whole thing, but there's something sticky about the way people like Karen move through the world. Always convinced their idea of order is the only way, always ready to climb up on someone else's roof with a crowbar and a mission. It's funny, kind of sad too, how fast power can twist itself into entitlement and how easy it is to justify crossing someone else's line in the name of community. It took a badge, a black SUV, and a federal investigation to make her see the line she'd crossed wasn't just some HOA regulation, it was the law, and more than that, it was basic decency. So yeah, maybe the lesson here isn't just about solar panels or even about boundaries. Maybe it's about recognizing when your sense of justice has turned into something uglier, something that tramples over other people's rights in the name of keeping things tidy. Maybe real community means letting folks be as long as they're not hurting anyone and knowing when to put the crowbar down. Now, every time I look at those panels shining in the afternoon sun, I can't help but grin. There's justice, and then there's karma. Sometimes they show up together, sometimes they just take turns. But let me ask you, where's the line really between protecting what you care about and crossing over into somebody else's life? Is it power that corrupts, or does it just reveal what was already there? Have you ever dealt with someone who thought the rules only applied to everyone else? I'd love to hear your stories. Where do you stand on what's right, what's fair, and when it's time to push back? Drop your thoughts down below. Let's see how you'd handle a high-voltage neighbor with a taste for trouble.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.